Tonight is the birthday of the Rebbe Rashab. This man once told the Rebbe Rashab he has the following problem. I'm sure that none of us can relate to the problem. The problem he had was he felt he has a very coarse body. He felt that his animal soul, his body, was very lowly, very coarse, very insensitive, very callous, his body, his human animal soul leaves much to be desired. So Rebbe Rashab responded, that means you must have a very lofty soul. Because Hashem marries the soul and the body in a way that's perfect. So that if you have a low body, that means you must have a very high soul. And so it's impossible that Hashem gives a person a challenge they can't have. So it must be, if it's true, indeed, you have such a low body, you have a very high soul. This teaching of Rebbe Rashab is very in sync with one of the most fundamental teachings of Rebbe Rashab, which is the idea of pnimius. Pnimius means that Hashem asks each person to, whatever you're doing, to be fully engaged with what Hashem asks you to do, and not just be fully engaged in the present moment, but to be engaged in a way that you experience something that actually changes you. That you're fully engaged to the point that this is something not only that right now your mind is on it, right now your heart is on it, but that it's not kabil kachpelta, said the Rebbe Rashab, not just that you experience it and then it goes away, but it stays with you. So on that note, I want to share with you tonight something which I think is a transformational, something that we could all relate to, something which we all need to relate to, at least a little bit, that really will help us in our lives in a major way. Let's begin with this. We all probably heard the story, most of us heard the story, I'm sure, how the Rebbe Rashab was 4 or 5 years old. He cried to his grandfather. He said to his grandfather, "Why is it that God appears to Abraham? Why hasn't God appeared to me?" That was he came and he cried to his grandfather. So these tears of the Rebbe Rashab, I want to see Hashem, those tears became the reason why he lived. He actually revealed Hashem and through his teachings, through the yeshiva that he made. Until today, the shul that we're in, and all the Chabad centers in the world, and more, the impact of all of the Chabad centers are all a result of the Rebbe Rashab's tears. Why is it that I don't see Hashem? And so he gave his life to reveal Hashem in the world. Do we cry for the same reasons? No, we have different reasons. That we want our health to be better, ein gesund. We want to have better income. We want to have better, more sophisticated abilities. We have a lot of things that we would change. We want to change our paycheck. We want to change our income. Right? Those are things that perhaps concern at least some of us. Come on, you guys looking at me, I'm crazy. Come on, no, am I the only one? Don't you want to wake up tomorrow and it's all different and all better? I mean, everyone would, right? So, and when Mashiach comes, it will be. Mashiach will have to wait till tomorrow. But I want to share with you something that I think will help a lot, based on this teaching of Rebbe Rashab about Hashem marrying the most lofty kind of soul with the coarsest body. It tells us something about creation. There's a fascinating teaching of the sages that maybe we can't live with all the time, but at least at a Farbrengen, it's something that we should try to internalize, as Rebbe Rashab said, to bring things inside of us in a way that affects us, and something which mamish could really lift us up, to put us in a different space. The teaching of the Gemara, which I wanted to share, which I think is so transformational, is this. We think the problem is in the health, the problem is in the finances, the problem is in the people that are insulting us, the problem is in someone else. The real issue only is in our eyes. It's the way we look at things. And if we could, as Rabbi Yonah says, the key to all good character is ayin tova. The key to all good character is having a good eye. What is the meaning of having a good eye, and how do we get there? So this is the teaching of our sages. So our sages say, I'm not making this up, you can Google it, all creations were created, says Rabbi Shua ben Levi, b'tzevyoinan u'bedaiton. They were created according to bedaiton. What does it mean, bedaiton? That God asked every creature if he wanted to be created. Mic drop, right? Or at least vibrate instead of ring. God asked every creature if they wanted to be created, and then the Gemara says further, b'tzevyoinam. B'tzevyoinam, Rashi explains, b'demus, exactly the demut, exactly what's going on inside your life. You're asked before you were born, do you want to be this? This is the plan. Would you like to be born? And all of us saw it in heaven. We said, yes, that's exactly what I want. There was this Indian guy. He sued his parents, and I don't remember where the lawsuit took place, but it was pretty successful. He sued his parents. How dare you bring me in the world? You never asked me. But the truth is, the Gemara says this, that Hashem asks each creature, do you want to be the way you're going to be? But think about it. Would we actually choose it this way? Would you choose your life the way it is right now? Wouldn't you choose it to be different? Aren't there many things you like to change? So what does the Gemara mean when it says that we all chose the lives that we are living right now? Come on, guys. Can you imagine yourself doing that? You were in heaven and you saw your life the way it is now. He said, I want exactly this. Why did you do that? Where does it come from? How come we would choose the lives that we're living right now when there seems to be a lot of things we want to fix? We want to be the richest and the best and to have this and have that. How can we say that we would want things to be exactly the way they are? Why does it make sense? Let's chew on that question for a second, and then let's let Chaim sing, and then let's go further. Who has a good niggin? Ben, do you have a good niggin? Go ahead. Avi, whose yard site is it today? Who's in Kaddish for? What's the name?
Honor of Rabbi Shab's birthday.
Father's name.
Okay. I didn't get it. I really didn't see it. Okay. Whose birthday?
Najad ben Avram. Chaim. We're all children of Avram. Avram. There is, we're all children of Avram. We're all meant to learn from Avram. Your name is Avram, right? What does it say about Avram? It says Avram students have three characteristics. The first characteristic they have is ayin tova, a good eye. We see the idea of a good eye in this week's Torah portion. When Eliezer was sent to find a wife for Yitzchak, so Eliezer goes to this wellspring and he sees Rivka carrying this jug of water, and he says, "Can you please pour me some water from your pitcher?" And she immediately offers not to just pour water for him, but to pour water for all the camels too. Now camels drink a lot of water, and she's a little girl, she's 3 years old. And the thing of water is heavy. If Rivka would have said, "Excuse me, sir, there's a well over here, and and he came with a lot of servants too, and you have servants here, and anyways, why do you want me to pour the water into your mouth? Can't you just I'll pour the water, I'll put it in front of you, would you drink it yourself?" What? And if she would have answered that, you know what we would have said? that she has self-esteem. Good for her. Good for her. You think a stranger walks over to you and is asking you to go pour water for him and all his camels? You know what camels drink? Camels to go in the desert, they have 100 liters. They drink 10 liters in a minute, I think. So imagine this little girl, she has to go get water for all the camels. How many liters of camels are going to drink in a minute? Reuven, you know everything. I think like at least 10 liters in a minute, I think. Am I correct? 100 liters they drink to go into the desert. So the little girl going back and forth, and she could have rightfully said, "Sir, excuse me, you have servants. You want me to pour it into your mouth? Hello, sir, I could put it in front of you, you'll pick it up yourself. No, pour it to me. Hageminina. What's going on?" And the reason why he did this was because he was testing to see if this is the right one for Yitzchak. What did he want to see? Not just she had kindness, but she had tov ayin. What do you have tov ayin? Some people do things because they want a compliment. Some people do things because they want to just express their ego, and they want to just like feel good about themselves. She wasn't interested in a compliment. She would have been justified to say no. But a good eye person means, let me unpack it before I say what a good eye person. Let me give you a story to take it home. There's a Jew works in a gas station, and this lady Chana Malka Geltzer, her father was the head of the yeshiva Yisrael. His name was Elio Geltzer. Elio. So her father died in a car accident, and a little while after the car accident, she's driving. She needs to get gas, and she stops by this gas station. This guy, a little short guy, I know he's working in his garage. He's not, doesn't look like very pristine and clean. You know, he's a garage. So he goes and he's wiping her windows. As wiping her windows, he sees a picture in the car. Who is the picture? A picture of her father. Who is that man to you? It's my father. Your father. So I'm looking for him for 2 years, the guy says. Looking for 2 years? How do you know my father? She says, your father came to the gas station. And usually people come to the gas station, they just get their gas and they go. But your father, I'll never forget your father. Your father came over to me, your father said to me, look at you, look how you're doing. Imagine, we have all these things you're carrying on your shoulders. And even though you're carrying so many things on your shoulders, you show up in the gas station. You always have a good, kind word for every person. You're amazing. You're amazing that you don't think about all the trouble that you have, and every person comes to the gas station, you smile at them, and you give to them, you feel good, and you give them warmth, and you make them feel kindness. What an amazing person you are. What an amazing man you are. This man, the rabbi, he ran a yeshiva called Yisrael. He had 200 students. He told this woman, he told his daughter, is your father, he told me that when I go to the yeshiva, I tell them about you. I tell them, all the boys, you have to learn from this guy in the gas station. This guy is dealing with so much, and yet every day he shows up. Every day he does the mission Hashem gave him. And all the boys in the yeshiva, he told them, I want you to understand, if he could do it, we could do it too. This guy is dealing with so much, and yet he's so happy and so confident and he makes everyone feel good. This guy, he's got something. We have to learn from this guy. So she finally told him that her father had died in a car accident. He broke down crying. He said, you know what your father did to me? Your father gave me life. All these people go in the gas station. Your father gave me life. I'll never forget your father. That's the idea of a good eye. A good eye means, number one more story. This rabbi comes home. Rabbi meets a colleague of his, true story, after many years. His colleague had a son who was autistic, very, very autistic. He comes to his friend's house, and his son is banging his head against the wall as he's walking in. So the father's trying to take a pillow or something to mitigate the swaj, the blow of his kid, mamish, hitting it like this against the wall. And his friend is all happy, and he's like, how do you do it? How do you do it? How are you so happy? Your son's like this. How do you could be happy? So he said, I'll tell you, for 2 years, after the son was born, he was depressed, he was in bed, he couldn't go out of the house, he was depressed. But one day he said to himself, he doesn't know if you read it, if you heard it, one day he had this realization. God has a plan for every one of his children. And he has these special children that require, imagine if someone was appointed to be Rosh Yeshiva, head of yeshiva, of special children. They have unique ability to be a head of such a yeshiva. They're able to help. Every one of us is God's children, God's child. Imagine someone who was given the ability to be the head of such a yeshiva. He said, I have one student in my yeshiva, it's my son. And I was chosen to be the one that God wanted to help him. That's the meaning of a good eye. A good eye means you realize that Hashem chose you for your mission. And therefore, you don't think about another person's mission, what they have and what they don't have. You're not jealous of them. You don't feel bad that you don't have what they have. You're not affected. Why aren't you affected? Because you know that Hashem, you just like in heaven, just like your soul, before it was born, you were asked, do you want this role? Do you want this mission? And you said, yes, I want this mission, because you saw then in heaven, I need these challenges to be with the way a person was meant to be. I need to have these circumstances to do the mission Hashem wants me to do. Just like in Israel. When Jewish people came to Israel, everyone had their own portion. So too in life. Everyone has a different mission. Everyone has a different role to play. So this is the message I think that we could take home from this week's Torah portion and learn from Chof Cheshvan, that we shouldn't be so upset and so tzahuchkit about the different circumstances that go in our life. We should realize it's not something we could always absorb internally. What I'm saying, it sounds like a very high level, but it's something we, at least from time to time, at least once a week, every while, to think Hashem chose us where we are. These are the circumstances we're in. These are opportunities that our soul chose. I want these opportunities. I know this is the way that can fill my mission in life. And just having that perspective, is being open to such a thing, it puts us in touch with something deeper within ourselves, and lets us see good in other people. Rivka, what was she thinking? She felt good that another person has good. Some people, they don't want another person to suffer. I don't want them to suffer. But Rivka wasn't just I don't want them to suffer. I want that he should have good. That's Toivayin. Toivayin is that you see in yourself that you're okay, because Hashem chose you where you need to be, and therefore you're able to fargin. Not just to be kind. A lot of people could be kind. But to lefargen, to be happy with the person's happiness, to see good in what they have, and they should have good. And not to ask a question they could get it themselves, just to feel good for their goodness. That's the student of Avram Avinu. Ayin Toiva. That's what opens us up to all the brachot. It says that in our Shabbos davening from Tehillim, we say, how do you have a long life? Who is one who wants to have a long life? What should you do? Oiv yamim l'rot tov. To see good. To see good in yourself in the circumstances and the mission Hashem gave you. To see good in another person. That's how you open yourself up, not just the brachot for yourself, but it's tov ayin hu yevorach. That gives you the power to bless others. Hashem should bless us all. We should absorb the power of the day of Chof Cheshvan. Make a good decision today to do something that adds light in the world, adds light in another person, adds light in the world. Something continuing the Rebbe Hashab's light to bring Mashiach Kipshute. Chaim v'racha. Ay 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 hey.